Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
This is T.O. We are here in the building.
In the building, and also in the building today, we are going to have Ron Artest, or Metta World Peace Artest, or
Panda's friend.
Artest. It all ends in Artest, right? Again, a 16-year NBA career, mental health advocate, if you will, as well, coming to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. So check us out next. Coming at you. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
T.O., I'm in the building.
He up in the building. He up. We see you. We hear you. But we got a guest today, right? We got a special guest. So it's not about you today. We got a better athlete than you today.
We have a guest every day.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of stupid of me, huh? Anyway, but no, my man, not Ron Artest, not Metta World Peace, but
Not Panda's friend.
None of that.
Not
but
Panda's friend.
Metta Sandiford-Artest is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, my guy?
What's good, man? What's good? How did you find out my new name?
You know what? We do research on this show.
come on,
It's called Google.
We do research, man. Do research.
But why the switch? What
Got married,
happened?
man. Took my wife's last
You
name.
took her name? Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I thought you was already married. You never was married?
I was married before, yeah.
A long time ago, though.
Long time ago.
Okay.
So
I was married for I was with my first for 17 years.
Oh, so
Wow.
this is a new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I was with my wife now for 9 years.
Oh,
So we
okay.
together for 9
Well,
years.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats,
Appreciate
man.
it.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Hey, so we go way back, right? So 99
Yeah.
was your draft year, right?
Yeah.
So this is when we were training in Boca in off season, right? A bunch of the
that's
Vikings. We were
right
always
down
out
the
there
road
in
from
Boca,
me.
right? And Ron Artest came in the gym getting ready for the NBA draft.
No,
we
that's
used to,
Metta Sandiford-Artest.
I'm sorry. No, at the time, Ron Artest came in the gym.
Okay, that was
right?
Ron, okay.
And he was getting ready for the NBA draft. I was like, who's this tall guy? You know what I'm saying? Doing a little thing, whatever. I'm like, okay, good luck to you. But we go back 22 years now, man.
I remember that was the first time I ever seen people run on that treadmill.
The treadmill, yep. Fast program.
That was
Yep.
crazy. These guys, you've done it before. I've seen.
No.
No,
I
that's
don't
why
really
he
do-
was slow. That's
No,
why
no,
we
I
were
don't-
fast.
You never ran a treadmill?
No, I never
No,
did
you never
any
did
of that
I
treadmill
saw you on the
training.
treadmill.
I mean, I've done it since
I
then.
thought I saw you run. Okay, right.
I've been on it since then, but early on, I
No.
never really did any type of training like that. My first time training, honestly, outside of like the organization and like with some people, was my 2000, going into my 9th season, going to Philly.
Let's go back to 1999 again, right?
Yeah.
So again, you were drafted by Chicago Bulls, first round.
16th pick.
16th pick, but when you're about to get drafted, right? Or no, let's go after you got drafted, right? You go to the Bulls, but Jordan just left, right? Did that go into like, oh, dang, I would have played with MJ, because of course he was my hero. And
His last year was what, 96?
98 was the last time they won the championship, and you
Ooh,
got
so
drafted in
97.
99.
Yeah, so that got to be crazy that you almost played with
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
It was, sort of almost, because they would have won. They would have been at the top. But
Right.
basically, yeah, 2 years removed. You think about that, like,
Right.
oh, I could have played with MJ 2 years ago.
Oh,
Because
for
even
sure.
at 19, I was playing pretty good defense. I wasn't like good offensively, but defensively, I was right there.
Right.
Yeah,
So what
I
did you do to
came-
get better offensively then?
Well, you know what happened was like I really never cared for offense, but in the NBA, if you're not playing like really good offense, they typically don't pay you unless you're big or unless they know you. But so when I saw they wasn't paying defenders, I said I got to work on my game because you know I wanted to get paid, but I knew I could have an effect on the game defensively.
Right.
I didn't need to score. I didn't care about scoring. Pass the ball to somebody else. So I just said, I'm just gonna work on my game, because I kept seeing everybody else is getting all these accolades, and these same guys getting accolades, I'm locking them up, like
Right,
easy.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I see them and I don't see nothing.
Right.
And I'm like,
When I
know
guard
I'm-
them, they got 2 points. They go
Yeah,
get
it's
27
like, yeah,
on
I'm
somebody
better than
else.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then from that standpoint, and you see them get all the accolades, so I said, I got to work on my game. So I just started working on my game.
Give us examples of working on your game. To let people out there, like how hard you go in the gym in an off season or 2 off seasons in a row.
Yeah, especially having the mindset that you're going to embrace the defensive mentality, the defense role.
Yeah.
So not many people will have really the thought process to like, okay, you already just said it, like, oh, they're paying offensive guys, but the only way that they're paying these bigger guys is like, okay, you got to have an offensive game, and you're gonna be in the post, and they're gonna utilize you both, offense and defense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know in the summertime I started picking up a lot of things even from training with y'all early. Started picking up a lot of different things, but I was averaging 11 points, 12 points my first year, 11 points my second year. Then it went up to 15. I got traded. Then it went up to 18. Then it went up to 24 before I got suspended.
Right. So that's
So it was just like.
So the year 2004, that was your Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, Indiana Pacers.
So
yeah.
you were averaging before the suspension.
Yeah,
You were
24?
averaging almost 25 points a game.
Yeah.
That's major.
So then, this is because we researched it and I looked at it and I'm like, okay, you never got back to that type of productivity.
Right.
That
Offensively.
production, offensively. So what happened? Because you saw, because the thing is, you just mentioned it, you saw a steadily increase in your points per game, and obviously defensively, that's just effort. And then obviously you have a special skill set because I've watched you over the years. So just explain to me, what do you think happened? Because you were almost averaging 25 points a game
Yeah, it was going up.
before the melee happened.
Yeah, it was going
so
up.
what happened?
So like what happened was, so it was really easy to score, right? So, but what happened, once I got suspended, I thought I was coming back. And meanwhile, that summer, I had a great summer, like in the gym every day. I didn't miss a practice, right? So I'm cooking, brawl happens, I get suspended. It says indefinitely. So I don't really know what that means at the time. So I'm thinking maybe I might come back. So I'm training. Then I realize I'm not coming back, right? So then I just get super depressed, right? So then, I just kind of stopped working out. I'm just like,
You were unsure.
I'm very unsure.
Right.
I'm gonna play. Mindset was different. So then they tell me I'm released from my suspension. I think they did it in July or maybe even October.
Right.
I don't even know when. And then I came back. I was averaging 20. I came back. I was averaging 20, but I was still I was like scarred a little bit from that. What just transpired. So I just asked for the trade. I was still gonna be an all-star that year, but then I went to. So then they suspended me for 3 months.
Wow.
I got suspended for 3 months when I was with the Pacers because it's my fault. So I get suspended, and then I don't know what's gonna happen now. I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
So I'm just partying, Miami. I'm all over the place.
Future just uncertain.
Yeah, it was kind of uncertain at that time. And then I get back, when I get traded to Sacramento in January, we was in last place in the West. So then I go to Rick Allen and I'm like, yo, I don't think I got anything. I'm 273 right now.
Wow.
I'm normally 248.
Blew up, yeah.
What?
Yeah, 273.
And that's not from lifting weights.
That ain't from lifting weights.
Bro.
Out.
Yeah.
You was
Yeah,
What?
6'7", 270. It's a big boy.
273 when I got to Sacramento, right at the year after the bro. That's like 25 pounds change.
Yeah.
So then I tell Coach Adam, I said, honestly, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to come out like, I don't want to be a bad guy, but I said, I really don't have it. And I said, if you could just play me a little bit or maybe even sit me anything, but I don't think I could do it. And he said, yo, we going to go as far as you take us. That's what he told me.
Wow.
And I'm just like, he said, I'm playing you. You're going to go as far as you take us. We in last place, so we go to the playoffs. I come to Sacramento, and after he said that, I'm like, yo, we going to the playoffs. I said it publicly. And everybody's like, they're not going to the playoffs, right? So we go to the playoffs. I still make first team all defense after being suspended
for 3 months, right?
Our record was like maybe 25 and 14, but he motivated me. He put something in me.
Yeah,
It's good, man.
Yeah, it was
He
just
believed in
crazy.
you.
He
Right,
believed.
yeah.
And I'm like, and I started to love basketball again, and I started to really, at that point in time, I started to really I actually told myself, I was talking to my therapist, and I said, I have a problem with high intensity because I'm not able to control it. So if I'm working really hard, it's like I can't really
You're emotional.
take it back.
you can't go back.
I can't go backwards.
Right.
So we just decided to don't take the game that serious. Take your mental serious. So I felt comfortable at that point being second. I didn't want to be number one anymore.
And what head coach was that?
It was my therapist.
No, I'm saying what head coach
Rick
at Sac-
Allen, Rick Allen.
Okay.
I was trying to find a balance between trying to be the best versus trying to work on yourself.
Yeah.
So then I just, at that point in time, I felt good with being second place.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, I wasn't, I wasn't expending that much energy that it took me to dig deep, to try to be number one.
Yeah.
So it was cool though, it's like I was cool with it. So my average was like 20, 18.
Right, but you were fine with it. Because again, I think as professional athletes, like, we think if we're not number one, we're not the best, right? Something's wrong with us. And again, that's where the mental comes in. Like, is it me? Am I about to get cut? Am I done with my career? You don't know none of those things.
So how did you lose your weight? So you said you were 273.
I never got back to my prime weight.
So he said, so you're 273 going with the Kings. And Rick Allen said, and so you basically like, no, I don't really want to. I don't know if I have it to give to you right now.
Yeah.
This episode of Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, we've all been there. Something is interfering with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals? That's why BetterHelp was created, to assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional therapy done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if needed. It's more affordable than traditional online therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit betterhelp.com/popcorn. That's BetterHelp, and join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. Special offer for Get Your Popcorn listeners: get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/popcorn.
Get Your Popcorn Ready is brought to you by ButcherBox. ButcherBox delivers high-quality meat frozen at the peak of freshness and packed in a 100% recyclable box right at your door. And even better, shipping is always free. This way you can bypass the dingy grocery store near your house and avoid that trip to the butcher way across town. The process is simple. Just choose your box and delivery frequency. That's it. So easy, right? And the folks at ButcherBox must be in a good mood these days because they're offering our listeners, all right, listen now, ground beef for life. That's right, you heard it here first. Yes, that's right. A limited time, ButcherBox is giving new members 2 pounds of free ground beef in every order for the life of your membership. That means you'll always have something in the freezer for burgers, meatballs, tacos, meatloaf. And did I mention tacos? Yes, I did. Sign up at butcherbox.com/popcorn. 2 pounds of ground beef free in every order for the life of your membership. That's butcherbox.com/popcorn to claim this deal.
I'm not ready.
Right.
So he says, so his response is, we're going to go as far as you take us.
You'll go as far. That's the first thing. That's the only thing he said.
But you're 273.
But I'm 273. That's what I'm saying, right? Ain't that crazy?
Wow. But were you in a good shape? 273.
No.
So how were you able to? Like I said, there was a lot of things obviously going on mentally.
Yeah.
So how were you able to like balance that with what you were just telling me? You're not trying to be number one.
Yeah. So
you're just basically trying to kind of, I guess, find your way, but you're overweight. That's a lot of stuff.
I locked in. So what I did was I just worked my way into shape. And it was painful a little bit because I'm trying to lose weight. And I was losing weight. I got down to about 260 by playoff time. I was 260.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was okay. Played against the Spurs, played pretty well. We almost beat them. They won the championship that year. And then it was good. I just worked my way into shape. And the first couple games wasn't pretty. My first game I had like 17 against the Celtics, but it wasn't. I didn't feel right.
Right.
But I did okay. I hit a jumper, a couple jumpers, and then I just kept getting better. And we, kind of.
So between games and practices,
it came off
like
a little
that.
bit.
It just kind of you
So during that time of the 3-month suspension, you're away from ball for the first time. You don't have a label on you for the first time. Was that? Now being older and evaluating this whole last 10, 15, 20 years, was that probably the lowest point of your life, do you think?
For sure.
Really? And was it because of no ball or because of also everything else? Because, again, not having your sport, okay, who am I? We don't have an identity as an athlete. You know what I'm saying?
So if that was your lowest, give me, you've accomplished a lot. Obviously, you played with the late, great Kobe Bryant. Obviously, great years in Indiana. What would be your highest? What would be your highest moment?
I think my highest moment, probably, I think Defensive Player of the Year trophy was probably my highest.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that was my highest moment.
And it's so crazy.
Yeah,
While
that
you were
was-
thinking, I'm like, I guarantee he's not going to say that it was the
The
championship.
ring. It's not the ring.
I knew.
The ring's important. The ring
was
was
very
felt
important.
good, right?
Not to minimize it or
But that
discount it.
Defensive Player of the Year puts the whole NBA, your peers, on notice.
Right.
You
For
know what
sure.
I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is this: the year before that, I was supposed to get it. Ben was over. It was just me and
Ben
Ben.
Wallace, right,
They
yep.
wasn't talking about nobody but me and Ben.
Yep.
I love Ben Wallace, by the way.
Yeah.
They wasn't talking about nobody but me and Ben. So the year before that, I led the league in techs and flagrants. So they didn't give me the award.
Because
You're getting
of
too
that.
many. Yeah, you're making the NBA look bad by getting technicals. That's what.
And I think I finished second, but I got second team all defense, which don't make sense. How you finish second?
Right.
Like your second team.
I'm not on first
all
team.
defense.
Doesn't make sense.
So that, and then the next year I came and got it. Then the next year the brawl happened, and then Ben won it that year.
Yeah, because of the.
Well,
of course.
He had no competition.
And then he didn't even finish the year.
Yeah, of course. There's
Yeah.
nobody else.
Right.
Nobody else. He had that. And the next year I come back, I request a trade from Indy. Then I go to the West, and Ben won it again. I was out for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Then Ben won it 4 times.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. that's
Hall
right.
of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations.
Congrats
Yeah.
to
He just
Ben.
got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
I love Ben, but that's the only. It's not a beef I have with Ben.
Right.
It's like a
Competition.
It's a competition.
Yeah,
a friendly competition.
It's like
Your
at
brotherly-
that era,
It was y'all two.
that's what I wanted, right? And it's just like
Let me get that
I
out, you
gotta
boy.
get that.
Yeah.
that's it. It's not a beef. It's like a. It was only us.
Yeah.
There's
Like two
nobody
brothers,
else
a friendly
Yeah,
competition.
there's nobody else to hate.
Yeah.
Got you.
But Ben.
I want to touch on this the defensive prowess that you bring to the game, because obviously when you think of NBA, everybody thinks offensively. They think shooting, moves, ball handling, drills.
All the stuff I got.
No, none of what you have.
1-on-1.
I'd kill him.
No, he does
I'd
not
kill him.
want
He
this.
can't
Trust
shoot.
me. Trust me. Hey.
Anyway, we gonna go ahead. We're gonna get into that later.
But because there's a lot of people that are out here, especially a lot of kids, they only think offense. You know what I mean? And I think there's not a lot of guys that have the mindset to embrace the defensive side of the ball, the defensive role.
Yeah.
Namely, I can just think of a few already when you think, especially in today's game, that don't really have it offensively. They have offense, but they're not known for that. You think of your Patrick Beverleys, obviously
DeAndre
Dennis
Jordan,
Rodman,
right,
yourself. What goes into becoming a defensive player and that mindset? Because I know from an offensive standpoint, we play offense, but I'm looking at our peers that play defense, and then when you defense goes, they have their period, and you have the coaches run to the ball.
And they ain't never running to the ball. I'm like, I would be running to the ball.
Right. And I always tell people, I mean, even on offense, effort should be effortless. That'd be
It's
something-
part of it. It's part
that should
of
be
it.
something that a coach shouldn't have to tell you to do.
for
You know what I
sure.
mean? But there's obviously something with, like for me, I look at you, I wouldn't say that I would say that you're a defensive player if I didn't know who you were, but there was something about your game in key situations, you was deflections, steal,
Rebounds, yeah.
your IQ,
Yeah.
understanding pass lanes, this and that and the other. What made you the defensive player that you became?
I think it was well, when I was young, I couldn't score, but I hated to lose. So, and I still couldn't score, so I had to make the game ugly. And I was making the game ugly for a long time. Even when I started playing with men, I was 13, started playing with men, and the only way to get on the court, matter of fact, you had to defend.
Yeah.
They wouldn't
Because
let
you weren't
on
going to be the
court.
scorer.
Yeah, I wasn't going to score.
Right.
And then I was just starting to get stopped, and people said, "Wow, you're a great defender." And
Right.
then I started to, when I was a sophomore, I played with Shamgar Wells in at LaSalle Academy, God Shamgar. And you just look at my stats as sophomore year, it was like 2 points, 20 rebounds, 4 points, 16
Wow.
rebounds, sophomore year.
Wow.
Straight Dennis Rodman. That's when people started comparing me to Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
But then when he left, then my average went up. In high school, I went up to 17 and 25.
Wow.
But I was still defending.
Yep.
Then when I got to the college, I was averaging 13 points. I wasn't averaging a lot of points.
Right.
First year was like 11 points. But I was starting, people didn't see the little thing, but the NBA scouts kind of
the people who knew what they were looking
this guy's
at.
kind of effective.
Right.
Then when I got to the league, you know, I kind of knew I could stop people because I started to play against guys in the summertime, and I was just like, just right there to meet the ball everywhere on the floor, at the shot.
Were you like during those summer runs? Were you kind of like you almost became like a GM where you're scouting, peeping out people's different, you know, the
tendencies and all that.
tendencies in their game.
I was like, it was times where I would study a guy and I know when he bounced, when he gonna shoot, what time. I used to catch guys' shot.
On the way up, on the
way up, just catch it, just take it. You know, I was like because people talk about good defenders, but I was taking the ball. I wasn't. It wasn't passing lanes.
Right.
It was like, give me that. It was real defense.
I gotta have it.
Yeah, right there.
I gotta have it.
So it was like a lot of timing, and my goal was to keep people every game. I'm trying to keep you to 0. Every game.
Right.
But some games it'll be like 7. Sometimes guys might get 20, but then it'd be 2.
Who was the one player who was like 20, 25, or 28 that you held to like 2 or 3?
I mean, I don't want to. So I mean.
Because there was going to be that matchup.
Let's just say this, well below their average.
Yeah, there was going to be some matchup that you was eyeing. Yeah.
But you kept them in check and well below their average.
Let me start with who I didn't keep in check.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't necessarily keep LeBron in check.
No.
Okay.
But that was what
Young LeBron.
I didn't keep no LeBron really in check.
Why do you think that is? Is it because are we dealing with older
size
world piece?
No, even at my prime defensively, I had some good games against him. Like I can show a couple good games, but not enough to say it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't bring it up.
It's not enough to say it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
Kobe had some good games. Kobe and LeBron probably even in terms of the good games I had against them. And then I don't want to mention anybody else's name because it's just like
they don't deserve it.
I like some people. Some people scored 40, maybe. I think only 4 people scored 40 on me.
Okay, who are those 4? You know, you remember them?
Kobe.
He had 40. Brandon Roy.
Portland. He was that guy though. He was that guy before those knee
You know who
maybe LeBron.
Maybe LeBron. You know who I thought scored 40 on you?
T.O.
40 turnovers. No, because the way you hit him, I thought James Harden scored 40 on you.
No.
And I just thought that was the reason, because I didn't know the backstory or nothing.
He wasn't that good. No, he wasn't that good at this.
He wasn't that good at that time.
Yeah, Oklahoma City.
But when I got in the incident with James, I didn't even know who was behind me.
I
just felt somebody push me.
Right.
So it wasn't like it was James. I had no issue with James. I didn't know.
Are you friends to this day with James?
Well, I never hit up James.
Right.
But I seen him. We actually after that incident, we played basketball together.
Okay, yeah. Because people from the outside looking in, they probably think, oh, they still hate it. Like, no, it was. Yes, there's nothing there. We're athletes. We've moved on. It was a competitive moment. That's all it was.
Yeah, it was it's one of those moments where that's why I don't like to get excited.
Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast is brought to you by Indochino. Indochino offers fully custom suits, shirts, and casual wear at surprisingly affordable prices and ships them right to your door. Every piece is made to your exact measurements, and you can customize every detail, which is great, especially if you're a massive football player like me, or just like to look as if you shop at Seville Row. You can now find Indochino at select Nordstrom stores, giving you one more way to get great fitting, personalized clothing. Find your nearest location at Indochino.com. And even better, right now you can get $50 off any purchase of $399 or more by using promo code POPCORN at checkout. Again, that's $50 off purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com. Promo code POPCORN.
LMNT, spelled LMNT, is an electrolyte drink to get you hydrated without any sugar, salts only. Their unique formula gives the body what it needs to keep performing at the highest level, both mentally and physically. That way you can max out at the gym and then crush a podcast afterwards. T.O. could use some of this because for some reason he's deranged and thinks he can still play in the NFL, which is crazy to me. But anyway, since me and T.O. are considered VIP affiliates, for a limited time you can get a free sample of LMNT. Each sample includes 8 packets, 1 of each flavor: watermelon salt, citrus salt, orange salt, raspberry salt, raw unflavored, mango chili, lemon habanero, and chocolate salt. Limit one time per customer. Just go to drinklimit.com. That's drinklmnt.com. To learn more, tell them T.O. and Hatch sent you.
Because
You couldn't pull back.
that game, and check out this game. So this game, I got 16 in the first half, right? 16 in the first. I'm killing.
Wow.
You know, I'm playing against our good brother Durant, having a good game. This is a Hall of Famer, right? So, I'm excited about this game. I get on the fast break. I caught 3 dunks that game. Meanwhile, I don't dunk at all.
No, you're not really.
I don't dunk at all.
Yeah, you're not an above the rim type of guy.
Absolutely not. So I get 3 dunks, and I'm over the top excited. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So now I feel somebody just come push me, and I'm just like, get up off me, right? Get the up off
So
me.
you just super animated, super
animated.
excited right now.
At
And
that
you
point in
couldn't-
time, bang. I'm like, good Lord, I can't
Get out of my own way. Yeah, I can't escape myself. All that. I just want to do that. I just want to be like, bam, and be like, my bad. I can't get out of my own way.
Who is that? To me?
Yes, to you.
You can't. You possibly couldn't be thinking that. Why? I would never. First of all, I would never give you a reason to do that. Because we're so cool. Like, why would you want to hit me?
Just to see how you react. I just want to see how you react.
That's how you feel?
I just want to see how you react. What would you do?
America,
What would you do?
What I'm dealing with right here? They want to hit me.
That's my guy. It's all good. It's all love. It's all love.
CTE is real, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's real. But I want to go back to what you were just saying. Like, you elevated your defensive game because you didn't want to lose.
Yes.
So let's go.
Competitive spirit.
So now we're going to get into some basketball talk about me. So we just played.
I can't wait for that.
Hey, we just recently played.
I got the highlights too.
I've seen Ron play. I know he can play. So, and we're in our 4-on-4 tournament. So we're waiting, for our time to play. So I'm like, yo, who do we got? It's like, oh, we got Ron's team. So I already done peeped him out. 2 games prior, he reeled off like 8 points, just whack, whack. Like 3 on the right corner. Then he came to the top of the key. Crossed the dude over, went to the left, then he spent around and then shot a 3. Bro, all in one motion.
Okay.
I'm like, yo, but for me, it's amazing because I'm like, yo, this is NBA talent that I'm watching. I'm
Absolutely,
like, man, this dude is serious.
There's a difference, right? There's a difference.
It's not, right, and he's not in his best shape.
Of course, right.
NBA, it's there. So I'm like, okay, we played him, and so everybody's. You got here, you got this, you got who got Ron? So they looking at me like who got Metta? I'm like, they looking at me. I'm like, cause I'm like obviously the biggest, and I was our big for our team.
You ain't got no choice then.
So I'm like, all right,
you're the only one over 6'2".
But I had to accept the challenge. So his mentality, just as he said, I don't want to lose. But I'm already knowing, I know he got skills. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get shown up in here.
He ain't gonna spin on me.
So guess what? They got the ball first. They check up. Guess who they gave the ball to first?
Already. As well they should.
So I'm like, and by this time, like literally, because we're down to the Sweet 16 at this point. So everybody's in the gym, they watching. So it's like we half court. So that whole half court, they got the cameras going, everybody. So I'm like, man, so they gave the ball.
That was the Elite 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
To tell you what kind of talent we dealing with up in here. You know what I mean? We got to highlight. We get your popcorn ready. We gonna show them. So they get a ball to run. I'm on D. So he's on the wing. I'm like, man. So I back off a little bit. I'm like, what is he gonna do? I'm trying to see what they're gonna do. So he backed me up a little bit. Then he stepped back. Good contest now. I'm right here.
Right hand, right, bam, everything.
3
Buckets.
3 in the mouth.
Buckets.
3 in the mouth.
Okay, so when you saw him on, you was like, let me go ahead and go at him, right? You wanted to send him a message early, right?
Well, I just came off cooking.
Right.
Tell him.
First game I wasn't cooking. Then this game I was cooking.
Right.
Bro.
Yeah. So
when he say
keep
cooking,
Keep
he was
cooking.
cooking, bro.
Already, yeah.
That was it. I had 1 3, and that was pretty much it after that.
Like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah,
Tired, boss.
So again, he hit the 3 on me. I'm like, man, this is how this is about to go. So then they missed the shot. We got our ball. We got the ball back.
DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, is putting you in the center of this weekend's actions. New customers can get a free shot at a $1 million top prize with their first deposit by signing up using code POPCORN. Get in on the action now. How does it work? It's simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Feel the NFL action like never before with a free shot at $1 million payday. Download the DraftKings app now and use code POPCORN. This week, new customers can get a free shot at $1 million top prize and compete for millions in prizes across all contests. Enter code POPCORN to get a free shot at the $1 million top prize with your first deposit. That's code POPCORN. Only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
And then we had our point guard, so we reeled off. That was the only three that they had for about 2 or 3 minutes. Oof. Then all of a sudden, now we're up 11-3. The only three that they had was him.
Of course,
and it was on me.
Yeah, of course.
So then by then, like I said, I had to cancel his three out because I had to hit a baseline three in the corner. And then after that, we was up. Then they got in the game. Right. We had some substitution. Long story short, America, they end up winning, I think, by like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So y'all came back on them.
But it was, they had to come. They had to. Bro, they went all out.
Focus in.
It was a good game.
They got to focus in.
They end up losing after we did. They got
you don't talk about that. You just talking about y'all two games and you lost.
No, I just got to make out loss.
No, yeah, exactly. Feel good, right?
A little better because they got waxed the game after that.
And we got waxed.
Because with when you go to the Sweet 10 and the Elite 8, the games go to 28.
Yeah.
Or time limit. Right. So they end up losing 28-3.
Oh yeah, that's the championship. Okay. So you're from New York. You grew up playing Rucker and all that in the streets, right? So what name is out there for you? Again, all this Rucker street ball was the best dude not go to the NBA.
Ooh, yeah.
A couple
like that you saw. You're like, that's an NBA dude,
that
but through grades or through lifestyle, whatever, he never made it to the NBA.
Ali Mo.
Ali Mo. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know that name.
A lot of people know him in the basketball world.
Okay.
Ali Mo. You had Rayford was one of the guys that made it.
Rayford Alston.
Yeah. He's a street ball player.
Yeah.
That's very rare. He was not supposed to be in NBA. He's like a street ball legend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Played
handle like crazy.
I was surprised. I'm like, this guy's crazy. Jamal Tinsley's a street ball player.
Tinsley? Okay, I remember that name.
He made it.
And he made it.
Okay.
That's not normal, man. It's not normal for a guy like that to make it.
Yeah.
And the other guys like that was probably, I like Booger Smith.
Okay.
From Soul in the Hole. You ever heard Soul in the Hole, that movie Soul in the Hole?
No.
It's right next to Biggie Smalls' project. It was a court that went down. You go down the steps. It was
you played
like
there?
Rucker. I played everywhere in New York.
Right, of course. I
played in every single tournament.
Right.
I got championship, 3 in the Rucker, Gershwin Park, like all these tournaments. I got championships everywhere in New York City. But there's a lot of guys, like Junie Sanders was one of the guys that I thought should have went pro. He was a lefty. He was kind of a street ball legend. He was in our era.
So some of the kids out there now that are young and hungry and say, I'm going to go to the NBA, and again, they don't care about college. They don't care about living the right lifestyle to go to the NBA. What would you tell those guys? Like, look, it's serious to get to the NBA. You can't just be good at basketball. You have to be good at life in general. You know what I'm saying? What would you say to that group?
I would say, be professional.
Which is showing up on time and, being a good teammate, all those things.
And then even if you don't make it to the NBA, you still got other opportunities like overseas.
True.
Turkey,
big money overseas, yeah.
Turkey pay, Russia pay, Spain pays well. Then you got lower leagues like Italy. They don't pay as well as Russia, but they pay.
Well, give us an example of the money that they pay.
So in Turkey, the top 4 teams, you can make $4 million.
Wow,
maybe
year.
$5 million, yeah.
Wow, that's big money.
That's insane. Like Russia, you can make that much money. In China, you can make $4 or $5 million a year in 5 months in China.
Wow.
In Turkey, Russia is 10 months. So if you do really well, in China, you're gonna be you home in February.
Yeah.
And you ain't going back till.
That's big money.
That's big money. Right. So it's like you got other opportunities. Then you can go like, if you go to like Italy, you can get $250, $350, 10 months. So it's like good money out there.
Yeah.
To be made.
It's not all about NBA.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's good.
So I'm stuck on the defensive side of things because, like I said, I just know that's what you do. Give me like your top 3 to 5 defensive players.
All time
Ever?
Now?
Yeah,
all time. Your top 5 defensive players all time. You can put yourself on the list if you want to.
Yeah, you can put yourself on there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm top 5. It's debate. It's some debates.
Because of bigs.
Some people think I'm like really. Some people think I'm there, and some people don't. You know. But I think like Bill Russell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to be number 1.
Yeah.
Then you probably got to have maybe Wilt.
Okay.
When you
Another
get
big, yeah.
26 rebounds, defensive rebounds.
Right. You controlling the glass.
You're controlling everything.
Yeah.
So probably Wilt.
Bill,
Rodman.
Rodman, of course.
Dennis
Okay.
Rodman.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Probably Michael Jordan.
Jordan, of course,
Okay,
is on
4.
there. Top. Now that
Michael Jordan's incredible.
Here's the question: is Kobe on the top defensive guys? Is he one of the top defensive guys?
I don't know if I don't think Kobe's as good a defender as Michael Jordan.
Right.
Like Jordan would. I think I've seen Jordan differently, but I looked at Jordan's defense. Like when I was watching Jordan,
Yep.
I was like, okay, his offense is incredible. I'm not even trying to accomplish that.
Right. I can't do that right there.
Thinking about that, but his defense is like, I would watch him play defense, you know? He's just locking guys up.
Yeah.
Getting 30 and locking guys up.
Yep.
I'm like, this is crazy. So I think, and I said, Dennis, if I had to pick one more, I mean, Ben Wallace is an amazing defender.
Yeah.
You got,
Did you watch Pippen at all?
Pippen's an amazing defender. Pippen's a great defender. I'm not sure if he's better than Rodman or Jordan.
Right.
I mean, I don't want no beef with Pippen.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like beef. Yeah.
Anything
It's his
like
opinion.
That. Yeah.
I don't know if he's better than Rodman or Jordan defense.
Your assessment. How about, okay, let's talk about today's game. One of the guys that have, I think with the Warriors, Draymond Green, that has basically kind of self-proclaimed that he's one of the top defenders to ever play the game. What do you think about him and his game?
I think, well, Draymond, he's a winner. We know that.
Right, yeah, for sure.
So he's a winner. Now, when you talk about this era, you can't compare that to all time because they changed the rules
Different
for
game. Yeah, the game
when
is
Shaq
different.
came in the game, they changed the rules for Shaq.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then, so back in the days, it was impossible for a 6'6" guy to play power forward if you wasn't thick.
Right.
So I'm not saying he's not strong enough, but I'm saying that it's a different era.
Different era.
Right.
The game is played differently.
Yeah, I could have been the 5 this era. I couldn't play 5 in my
Right.
era.
Exactly.
Because they get the ball in that block.
It's a wrap. It's over.
You can't stop a back down.
Yeah, they
Barbecue chicken, like Shaq said, it's barbecue chicken.
And you could give it, and you could give it.
Yeah, you giving the
And you could give
get up
it.
off me.
Yeah, so even like a guy like Jamal McGlaw.
Right.
Okay.
A guy like Jamal McGlaw, you can't stop him in 2000. You can't stop him with a guy 6'6" in 2000.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
Different
go into
era.
that mismatch.
Yeah, different era.
A different era. But Draymond, to his credit, this era, he's incredible. So it's like, I think he's one of the greatest defenders of all time.
Okay.
Because he's still 6'6" playing center.
Do you get frustrated or angry at the defense that is played in today's NBA games at times? Because I do, and I'm like, I'm not an NBA guy, and I'm just,
So why would
hey,
because your game is not even close to NBA.
hey, guys, shut it up. But no, because I'm like, they ain't playing no defense. If you're a defensive guy,
You don't think so? When you watch it, you don't think they're playing defense?
I think when playoffs hit, they start seeing real ball. It could be the second week, and I'm like, he ain't even reach his hand out to stop the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You can tell the intensity, everything changes. There's regular season, and then there's postseason. There's playoff.
Right.
There's regular season basketball, and then there's
Playoff basketball. That's when it gets
and
good.
you see that everything, the intensity, everything turns up. And then of course it's a half court game. Because all the games that you see during the course of the season, especially these games that just run up and down the court, they're shooting, jacking up shots, this and that and the other. And then you see when the playoffs start,
You can't do
it's
that.
more of a
Slow that
defensive
thing
game.
down.
You know what I mean? The games are slowed down. Everybody that was winning during the course of the season, running their just normal freelance offense, now they're being stifled because now it's the best of 7. Obviously, scouting, defensive matchups, all that comes into play. Thinking of that, tell me about your run with the Lakers, your first championship. And then
Yeah.
Phil Jackson basically said that in Game 7, because you guys were down 3-2,
Down 3-2.
right?
Yeah.
I was at that game, the Game 7 when y'all
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Celtics.
Yeah. Where were you sitting at?
We were right behind me and my boy Shaw.
I think I
We
did
were
see
right
that.
behind Jack. We were right behind Jack Nicholson, and so we were in the stands. My boy, every time they show the replays of that game, you can see him in the background. So
Singing in the
shout out to my boy
background.
Shaw. Lakers, he's Lakers all day. So with Game 7, like I said, you guys in that game too, Kobe was fatigued because you could tell he was playing obviously both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he was fatigued. For
Yeah,
sure.
'cause I mean, that Game 7, bro, he came down, he made a senseless turnover. And they were like what is he doing? But me understanding the game, obviously he's expending so much energy offensively and defense, he was fatigued.
Yeah.
'Cause that was like one of those plays like, yo, that would
doesn't
never happen
happen.
during the regular season.
Right,
But
right.
fatigue, I saw that. But Game 7, you showed up in a big way. It was almost eerily similar to that Jordan to Kerr type of situation.
Yeah.
Now it's Kobe to you. You hit a big, huge shot. What is that like? Take us through that Game 7 because that
Yeah.
was your first championship.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking on that because we've already asked what was your highest, and I already knew that it wasn't the
that,
championship.
yeah.
Obviously, your highest moment for you in your career
Yeah,
is your
yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year. What was it like playing in that championship game, winning it, and then obviously, like I said, that was a huge shot because Kobe, again, he patterned everything that he learned and knew, and we watched after MJ.
Yeah.
And for him to obviously, in that situation, trust you to make a big shot.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think like with Kobe and Fisher, those guys, like I brought it in practice, and I played against these guys the year before that, so I was bringing it. We almost took them out, right? So I'm ready for that moment. And every playoff series I had, I played pretty well with the exception of maybe one, I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm playoff time. I had my own teams where I was the man on teams.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I was competing against him and offensively and defensively, on other teams.
Right.
Right. I'm not saying I was as good as him, but I was competing. So from that perspective, I think he knew I wanted that shot. Or he knew I was ready. But
He felt it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm right there the whole time. But the crazy thing is, when you look at that whole championship series, or even that whole run, all closeout games I had 20 in the closeout games. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I had 26
matters.
against Suns to go to the finals. The Jazz 20, just close them out, right? So in the championship, I had maybe some games 2 points, 4 points in a couple of the early games.
Right.
But I'm like this for 40 minutes.
Ready.
Staying ready.
Stay ready. You don't got to
That's
get
it.
ready.
Don't even
Staying
think
ready.
about you not touching the ball. Don't even think about it. Just stay ready and do what you are supposed to do. So he saw that. It was in the game we went to the Celtics in Boston. I hit my first 2 threes. Like I was ready.
Right.
But Kobe is like taking over. He's going to do his thing.
right.
And then in Game 5, and Kobe has 25 straight points. All the points.
All
None
the
of
points.
us scored.
Yeah.
Incredible, right? So then we get and we lose that game. So we go back to LA, Game 6, and then leaving the Garden, Phil come to me and say, "I need you to score." I said, "For real?"
With that face right there, I already know.
I was like, "I would love to score."
Yeah. Throw me the ball.
I would love to. So then in Game 6, 17, and then Game 7, I had 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would love to shoot, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to shoot now because this is y'all won last year
Without
so
you.
I'm not about to come in here
And mess it up.
And
Yeah.
disrupt the chemistry and what
shoot. But he asked me, I'm like, "Oh, thank you, man." I was like, "This is amazing," but we didn't tell nobody else.
Of
So
course,
then
yeah.
I was
That's
just aggressive,
Right.
And
but I think the message, especially we have a lot of viewers, like a lot of kids are watching the show, and I think the message for a lot of kids these days, because they feel like if they're not in the game and they're not shooting,
Not in the game.
they're not part of the game. They're not putting their imprint on the game. You put your imprint on those 2 final games defensively, but what I got, you were always ready
Yep.
Yeah.
when your opportunity, came about. So in that situation, for a lot of you kids out there, especially you playing a best of series, you don't have to score 20, 25, 30 points
Every single game, right.
As long as the common goal
Yeah.
is to win and to win the championship, that's the ultimate goal, then you have to, like I said, you could have been you could have had an attitude about it, like, man, I'm ready. I'm not scoring no points. I scored 2 points. That's it. Got rebounds or whatever.
I did. Not publicly,
of course,
and not to no one.
Yeah.
Right.
But internally, which is fine.
Yeah. Right. But you have to, like I said, you have to be. That just shows a sign of maturity. At that time in your life.
You know what you say that? It's so funny you say that. That was actually. That was one of the greatest times of my life, because I was able to put the team first when it mattered most. Because you got to think about it. When we was in Detroit, to go to the finals, when Detroit beat the Pistons, when Detroit beat the Lakers, we had the best record in the league. We was in the semifinals against Detroit. I elbowed Richard Hamilton in the face with 1 minute left, 3 minutes left. It was tied up. We get a tech. They hit 2 free throws and score. They go up 4. They win by 4, go to the finals.
Go to the finals.
So that's one mistake. Then I get to Sacramento. Ginobili elbowed me. I go back at him. I get suspended. We take the Spurs to game 6. Who knows what would happen, but I get suspended.
Right.
Then we get to the Rockets versus the Lakers. Me and Kobe get into that incident. I get ejected. We take him to 7.
Same thing.
And they go beat. We gave them the toughest run that year. They beat everybody.
Right.
They
and
beat
like
the
5
Warriors,
and 6.
5 and 6. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I have these opportunities. Right. I don't know how great are you? Are you good? Can you win a championship? Like, so when I got to those finals, I was really working hard on being consistent with the team first, and that was so hard. You know, getting 2 points in the game.
Right, and keeping your emotions in check.
Yeah, your ego and everything.
Yeah,
so that was actually one of my proudest moments of my career. Because
Absolutely.
it proved that I can be stable, I can be controlled.
Yeah. Right.
You know, that felt better than a lot of things in my career.
Right, but I'm glad that you kind of explained you kept it internally. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that. They just think I can go curse out this guy and I can say this to the coach. Like, no, you can't. You have to be a leader, have to be mature, you have to be all of those things, and then that's how you get to the championship.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think 2010. That was your only championship.
Only one.
Yeah.
The only one.
And I know we're going to wrap it up here, but I want to touch on something because throughout this whole show, we've been talking about you dealing with, like, internally, like, keeping your emotions in check. And then you mentioned, I didn't have to say it, you mentioned your therapist at some point. What is it like? Because a lot of people think that Kevin Love was almost like the first person to really talk about
mental health. Right.
But in all honesty, I think you were kind of like the first one. What is it, what was it like to be on the end of one of the first guys, especially pro athletes, to touch on mental health and mental health awareness?
Yeah, man. You know, when I did it on that big stage after we won the finals, my whole thing was, that was 2010. So in 2005, I was already trying to bring this to light. In 2005, I was trying to do stuff, programming on television, mental health stuff. That's going to help people, be comfortable, with the issues, especially what I was going through at that time. And I was paying for so much therapists and so many different therapy sessions, but we could afford it.
Right.
I'm like, man, what does somebody do that can't afford this? That's crazy.
Right.
How are they gonna pay for this?
Right.
Because I'm sure from the outside looking in, from a public standpoint, you getting a text and you being erratic with your behavior, they probably thought, oh, this is just another athlete, just a lot of money, don't really care, just doing whatever.
That's definitely not the case.
Right, but that's what I think you're alluding to. That you were trying to shed light on. There were some things going on with you.
And there's more people like me.
Right.
Yeah, and there's more people.
Yeah.
So when you go out, so then in the championship, when you go out publicly, my whole thing was, I didn't know it was going to get that much positive feedback. Because you come out back in the day, you say, I've seen a therapist, they're going to be,
you a punk,
just 7 channels, you're weak,
weak,
crazy.
Right.
So you're like, I'm not going to just say that. Right. But I'm like, at a point in time in my life, I'm just like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to let people know I'm seeing therapists. I don't even care. And then when I did it, it was crazy. I was getting calls from therapists.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. My clients feel more comfortable talking to me.
Yeah.
And like every time I was on the street, therapist.
Honestly, you probably opened the doors for a lot of business for a lot of probably struggling therapists at that time.
They was telling me that.
I'm sure we don't think about it on the everyday. There's therapists that have been working that's their job, that's their occupation.
Yeah.
And then they're just doing their 9 to 5 or whatever. But then the fact that now they have a professional athlete being on the stage and that you are on, everybody's watching. Everybody's watching the NBA playoffs.
And especially in the African American community.
Yeah.
We definitely we don't need no therapy.
Right, because they think obviously we're black, we're macho. I mean, there's this tough skin that we're supposed to have. We're athletes that nothing bothers us. But let's talk about some of the current athletes that are dealing with some of these mental health things. Notably,
right, Kyrie.
Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka. What do you think about the backlash, I think, that and the effect that it's having on Naomi particularly, because obviously it's tennis season, U.S. Open, she pulled out, one of her matches, dealing with really just the pressure of being in a setting with, really reporters asking difficult questions or just ridiculous questions, and then you have Simone Biles, who obviously pulled out of the Olympics. Can you give us your perspective on those three individuals, Kyrie, Simone, and Naomi?
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with the story, and I thought it was cool to see that someone wanted to protect their mental health. Being a tennis player and superstar, young, a lot of upside, and you're like, hold on, something is going on with me inside. And I remember when I was right before the brawl, I actually wanted to retire. I can relate. I actually called the NBA office, asked for my papers to retire.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, I just need time for myself. And I wish I would have done it because I wouldn't have been suspended.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
it's like sometimes as an athlete, they think we just all macho.
Machines. I think you're a machine.
But it's just not like that. It's just not true. We are just as human as anybody else.
They think we're
just
invincible, we don't have problems, we make a lot of money, and then everything is just beautiful every day.
It's not true. Man.
So, Naomi, like, I mean, people have asked me the question to give my take on it, but and the thing is it's kind of hard to kind of articulate because you want to be kind of you want to be sensitive to the matter.
Yeah.
Right.
And not insensitive. And so people have asked my take on it, and you can go either way with it. But when you think of somebody like Naomi, she's very, very young.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, I don't know if there's any type of training that you can give an individual like that, especially when you have a talent like her and you're thrust onto the scene, and now your talent kind of just supersedes your age. Like now you're competing for championships at an early age. Like how do you manage all the emotions, and then you got to go into a room full of cameras in your face, and you got people asking you different types of questions. So
it's not easy.
Right. So but the flip side of that is sometimes that mental toughness is what makes athletes great too. So I'm kind of conflicted, and it's like not that they're taking, not saying by any means that they're taking advantage of the situation. It's like, and I think that's what you were doing. It's like, how do you find that balance of trying not to be just number one, but being the best at who you are?
Yeah, the best who you are.
Like I said, because if you think about some of the great athletes, you think about, and I'm gonna mention Kobe, and I'm gonna mention MJ, and I'm sure they were faced with these same things, especially Kobe, because he was teenager.
Yeah, the pressure.
But the same pressure that I think Naomi's dealing with, Simone is dealing with, Kobe dealt with too. But he dealt with it in a different way, and that mental toughness is what made him great.
And the different things about a team sport, you always got your teammates.
That's the difference.
You could always call it.
Yeah.
And guys, if you was really feeling bad, we know we could call our teammates. Yeah. I need y'all to come over because I'm not. And we really want to be vulnerable.
But the individual
but
sports.
That's not Kobe. We know Kobe.
Kobe's not going to do it.
He ain't.
Right.
He's not.
But even on the court, again, if you're in a room and you have your team with you, the whole the whole locker room, the whole world's not looking at just you. They're looking at your team. You know what I'm saying? So that individual.
You can miss a media day. And the team is still there.
Right.
You can't do that in a single sport.
Right.
Yeah. The
Because
pressure's
I can
major.
see
It's magnified. The pressure's magnified because it's just you.
And if you don't got it in you, if you don't got that Kobe mentality,
Then it's really going to mess with you mentally.
And then obviously we talk about, Kyrie Irving, what he's dealing with. I mean, obviously he's been in the headlines a lot. And so obviously, this past year, obviously he's taken some time away. Nobody really knows what he's doing or what have you. Do you think at some point that what he's doing or him putting the mental health will affect his career?
is he taking time off?
I mean, no, he did. Like,
He did,
at some
Take
point,
games off and then begin to see
took
stuff
it.
like that.
I did that one time, but I said it. Like, if you look at my doc, and I said I just need time off. I'm going to work on this album. Like,
Right.
But it was like I'm literally telling you, I'm not here right now.
Right. So I physically might as well not be here.
And I went to Miami to go party,
Right.
but
Right, but how did
that wasn't the right thing to do. But I'm saying I needed.
Right.
I still needed the time off.
I needed some
Regardless
time.
what I
No matter
did,
what
I needed that time
I
off.
needed time off.
Right.
That's crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but
It is kinda
It's
crazy.
realistic.
It is.
It's realistic
It's the
because
same-
people need time off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's not professional.
But there's
There's a professional way to do it.
There's a professional way to do it.
Exactly.
I think if you was to go to team sport, for example, if you go to your general manager, your owner, and you say, listen, I'm taking time off. How you want to handle this? Right?
Well, if you're a star,
if you
they're going
go-
to give you the day off. If you're a role player, we go
Yeah,
cut
but
you.
then again, if you're a star player like a Kyrie, then like I said, that
It's
can
fine.
affect that can affect where you are, what your team standing. That can affect the
That's what I'm
playoff
saying.
run.
That can affect a lot.
Yeah.
Everything.
If I would have
So,
walked
yeah.
into the office and told Denny Green, like, I'm going to miss practice tomorrow because I have time off, he's like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. You're not missing.
You're not
Because
missing
you're a
practice.
role player.
If I'm Denny Green, you take. I'm like, yeah, would you take the next 5 years off?
Bro, that's
while
what
you
you're
at
saying. So, it all
Why you
depends.
at it?
Yeah, it depends on who you are, where you fall on that.
But
on
if you
that.
Phil Jackson,
Take
he
a
gonna
look.
manage it. He
Yeah.
gonna say, all right,
Because he did it with Dennis.
right.
He did it with
he'll
Dennis.
manage it.
But he also said,
understand.
hey, y'all go get him now.
Right.
Now
It's,
go get
it's
him. Now
been
go
long
get him.
enough. There's a championship on the
Right.
line. Y'all go get him.
I would be more sensitive to it if I had a player come to me and say,
For sure, yeah.
I mean, you got to manage it. It just can't happen every day.
So what do you think?
Right.
So what do you think? Because now Naomi and probably Kyrie, they're the only two that are going to be really active right now. What do you think Naomi can do to get past where she is mentally right now?
I think she got to find something to make her happy because obviously she getting a lot of paper right now. But I think going into it, she's like, oh, wow, I'm going to be a big tennis star, make a lot of money. I don't know. I'm assuming that's part of it.
Right.
But I think just kind of taking a step back and figuring out what makes you happy. Like, is it art? Is it going out swimming? And is it water? Is it tree? Like, what makes you happy? Your family, like, and then get back to that. Let that be the center of your life, not the sport. Because I know when I was playing and when I got to LA, that was the center of my life. Like coming to Hollywood.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much about the family or ball. It was like, we in Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Like, we gonna go party. And that was the center.
And that's not a good center.
That's not a good center. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a part of it, but it's just not the center.
Right.
And that could be confusing. And then I don't know what, she's young, so going through different phases of her life.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So find something, I would say find something of substance that she could attach herself to.
There you have it, everyone. We have Metta Sandiford-Artest. Thank you for joining us, man. We enjoyed you. I know I did, because I'm the only hooper on the show. I'm the only hooper on the show, you know what I mean? So
Don't laugh at that. Don't even laugh at that, dog. Don't even listen to that.
I got it. Me and
I'm not
you, we was right here the whole show. I don't know what
Anyway.
We gotta see that one-on-one, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
He don't
who you
want-
got
he
your
don't
money
want-
on? Who you got your money on, Run? If it's one-on-one,
Who's
who
your
you got
boy,
your money
Ron,
on?
I gotta go with T.O.
Oh,
I seen T.O.
get
play
your
Hatch.
popcorn ready.
I seen T.O.
This show
That's
ain't
a
never
wrap
coming
right
out.
there.
Cut. This ain't never coming out. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Artest. I'm gonna go through the whole three names again. Should we?
Metta World Peace. Well, Ron Artest and Metta World Peace.
Metta Sandiford-Artest.
Panda's friend.
And Panda's friend. Where's the Panda's friend thing?
Yeah, when he went to China.
Oh,
Yeah, he went to China and played over there, and I think that he named
Panda's friend. Okay,
Yeah,
there it
Panda's
is. But no, I'd like to thank you for coming out. Appreciate you, Ron. Ron, again, I met you when you was Ron, so we gonna call you Ron. I'm gonna name you Ron. I'm gonna call you Ron.
But it's hard not to call him Metta World Peace because that's what everybody knows.
Well, that's when y'all met him, though. I met him when he was Ron. 99. He was a baby. 99. We go way back. 22 years. There it is. Thank you. See you guys next week. Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. Peace. Yee.